Yo guys, what is good? Welcome back to SP Vids. In this video, I'm going to share with you 5 tips for making better beats using the SP404sx. Now, these tips also probably apply to most of the samplers in the range, and they'll also definitely apply to the SP404A as well, as these are essentially the same units. Now, just quickly before I start, I want to say a huge thank you to DistroKid, who have kindly sponsored this video. For those of you that don't know, DistroKid is a music distribution service, and it lets you get your beats on streaming services like Spotify, Apple Music, and many more. If you check out their website, you'll see how many places they can get you on. It's really simple to use, and it's just $20 a year, or it's $19.99 a year, and for that you can do unlimited projects. So DistroKid also claims as well that they get their music live 10 to 20 times faster than any other competition, so you won't need to be waiting around for your uploads to get online, and you'll keep 100% of the earnings that you make as well. I personally use DistroKid for my beats, and I love it because it's super easy to use. So guys, if you're interested in getting your music on streaming websites and making money from them, use this link in the bio that I've got, and you'll actually get 7% off that price as well. So a huge thanks again to DistroKid for sponsoring this video. It's really valuable for me at this point where I'm trying to grow the channel and do this full time, so huge thanks to them. Okay, so let's get into the tips for this video. The first thing that I want to share with you is using the effects. So when you start your life on the SP, you might just use one effect on all the samples that you're using, or you might just use one effect on a couple of the samples that you're using in your beat. The way to really push yourself and get better sounding beats with cooler effects is to use Resample. So what Resample does, it allows you to take a sound from one pad, record it onto another pad, but also with an effect on it. The great thing about this is you can build up and start layering effects as well. So if you say, for example, you had a sample on pad 1 here, you put isolator on it, resampled that to pad 2, you could then put vinyl sim on that pad and resample it to pad 3. So when you layer up those samples, they start to get a nice warmth and thickness to them, and there really is no end to creativity on this unit. The more you resample, the crazier the sounds you can get, and the more lo-fi sounds you can get as well. So that's my first tip. Don't just stop at using one effect on your entire beat. Resample those samples and get them sounding really unique. Step number 2, and this is something that's probably overlooked quite a lot on the SP, is mastering on the SP. Now, I appreciate this isn't a great device for mastering things on. It's not really intended for that either, but because we're making full beats on these boxes, we do need to find ways to be able to do that. So the way that you can help yourself on the SP is use the start and level button, which I'm pointing to right here. So what level does is gives you the opportunity to change the level of every single sample you're using and really kind of mix it down. That's the only kind of way you've got to mix things down. You can do EQ and effects if you're patient and use resampling a lot, but the main power that you've got at your fingertips with this unit is being able to change the levels. It's a bit primitive, but experiment with your levels a bit more than you usually do, and you might be surprised at the results. I remember one thing that was a massive eye-opener for me is that I had my drums way too quiet in the mix, and the next tape that I made, I brought up the level of the drums and just dropped those samples down a little bit, and the difference was incredible. The drums really sounded a lot harder, and yeah, I think that's a massive leap in quality that I made when I was releasing that tape. I just managed to get my drum game to sound a little bit stronger just through purely mixing with the level dial. So give that a try for yourselves, and hopefully it can get you some nicer and better sounding beats. Okay, tip number 3, which is a huge one for me actually, was that when I used to mix in my headphones and make beats in my headphones, I would export them, listen to them on a different device, and they would sound bad. Like they wouldn't sound as they did when I'm monitoring directly from the SP. So my advice for this one is get a different way to be able to listen to the sound. Now, I'm fortunate enough that I also own monitor speakers, so what I started doing is running my beats through them before I had finished with them, and I could really tell the difference with those speakers. So the speakers were doing a much better job of showing me exactly what was coming out. I find that the headphones in the SP can be a little bit deceiving, so they can add a little bit of bass and make your beat sound a bit fatter, and then when you get it out of the unit you can be left a bit disappointed. So yeah, I think that's a kind of a rule of music anyway. You should never really just monitor from one source. You should try as many sources as you can, like Bluetooth speakers if you've got them, different headphones if you can. Monitor speakers obviously are really useful as well. And yeah, when I started monitoring my beats through my speakers, when I was moving them to different devices such as Bluetooth speakers, the stereo in my car, I really started to notice that they sounded actually like what they did when I made them. So try giving that a go. Try monitoring from different pieces of equipment, different types of headphones if you can, obviously, and I think you will notice that your beats start to level up. My next tip, which is tip number 4, is to become a master at the device. That is one way which you're going to be able to make much better beats on the SP404sx. So a great way to do that, obviously, is to dig through my entire back catalogue and check out all my videos for tips and tricks. Although that's a shameless plug, on a serious note, it will definitely help you level up your SP knowledge, because there's just so many tutorials in my back catalogue now. And becoming a master of a piece of equipment is a sure way to be able to make better music or better beats with it. Knowing your way around it, knowing the limitations, knowing how to work around the limitations, all those little bits of information that are in your head, they're going to really help you to be able to make beats more easily, and that's how you make better beats. You know, you don't want anything in your way, you don't want your workflow being ruined. You want to know how this box works, and you want to be able to quickly jump in and know the ins and outs of it. So yeah, I think that's a really valuable one, although it seems like a bit of a cop-out tip. You just need to know the device that you're working on. And with time, you know, if you spend time on this device, you will get to know it and you will start making better beats. So my final tip, tip number 5, is you have to spend time with this device. There's no way about it, because it's not as straightforward, it's not as intuitive as, say, using a digital audio workstation like Ableton or Logic or anything like that. It's much more hands-on. You need to be on this unit. I've dropped countless hours into this box, and I still don't feel like I can get the exact sound that I'd like to get out of it. I feel like I've progressed obviously massively since I first got it, but still feel like there's a lot of the journey left with this unit. So yeah, I do think that sitting down and spending a lot of time with this box is a definite way of improving the quality of your beats as well. So there you go, guys, that's 5 tips for making better beats on the 404sx. Like I said, this probably applies to most of the SP range and probably most samplers, to be honest. And yeah, this certainly applies to the SP404A as well. I think I don't make this note often enough in my videos that the SX and the A are really well, they're essentially exactly the same unit, minus a few little bits of software inside. So I hope this one was useful for you guys. If you're new around here and you're not a subscriber, please hit that subscribe button and smash the thumbs up as well, as that really helps my videos. A huge shout out again to DistroKid for sponsoring this video. Really appreciate their support at this point, because I'm trying really hard to get this channel to work full time for me. So shout out to them, and also thank you all to everyone that's been commenting recently. There's a real strong community on this channel, and that's not just because of me, that's because of you guys as well. So thank you to all those people that repeatedly come watch my videos, leave comments, and just leave encouragement as well. It really does actually help quite a lot to see these positive comments coming in about my content. So massive shout out to you all. Keep making beats, guys, and I'll be back with more content very soon. Peace!